All right, we doing classic movie pick and review today. And the movie I decided to pick is Se7en. It's a thriller, it's creepy, 7 deadly sins, serial killer, Brad Pitt when he was finer than a motherfucker. Let's go.
Welcome to the Asia Esterak Hour, where film meets conspiracy and pop culture gets a reality check. From sharp recaps to sci-fi theories and media deep dives, Asia Esterak serves it unfiltered. Let the binge begin.
All right, welcome back to the Asia Esterak Hour. I'm Asia Esterak. So this is a new segment that I'm starting because I'm more than just reality TV. My bio says I'm a cinephile, so I want to show y'all that. So we being I and me. I'm a Gemini, so it's like 8 of us in here. But anyway, I want to do a quick review of the film Se7en by David Fincher. David Fincher, amazing director, directed Fight Club, Social Network, Gone Girl, Alien 3, The Game, the list goes on. Fantastic director, has had such an amazing career. He's kind of done a little bit of everything. Oscar nominated, he did the amazing Benjamin Button. He also did a remake that I wasn't too fond of, but that's for another video, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Some stuff doesn't need to be remade, but again, for another video. But anyway, directed this film. Se7en is a classic. Came out in 1995. I was 13 going on 14 when this film came out. I remember my parents saw the movie first, and my stepdad, he's really hard to impress, but I remember him coming home and he was like, my mom was like, great movie. So the movie is directed by an amazing scriptwriter, Andrew Kevin Walker. He's known for doing a lot of script doctoring in the industry and not getting credited for it, but he contributed a lot to a few of the other David Fincher films like The Game and Fight Club as well. But his another notably well script that he wrote was, of course, Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. I love me some Tim Burton. Anything. The cinematography in the film is done by the amazing Darius Kanji. I might be saying his name wrong. I apologize. Se7en is a very well shot film, very darkly lit. That was a theme for David Fincher for a while with his films in the beginning. I noticed he's changed it up as he's gotten older, but that was definitely a running theme. But the cinematography in Se7en is fantastic. Darius Kanji has done stuff like City of Lost Children. He's worked with Woody Allen. He did The Beach is great. Alien Resurrection. One of my personal favorite films, In Dreams. It's a Neil Jordan movie. It's really good. Check it out. Darius Kanji has a very vast career. He's been doing it for a long time. He's an Iranian filmmaker and cinematographer. Dude is off the chain. The film is edited by the amazing Richard Francis Bruce. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because it's important to know that a movie isn't just about the actors. It's a collaborative effort, and editing is major. I actually learned to edit when I went to film school and fell in love with it. In addition to loving writing, script writing, that was my thing. It's my gift. But I love editing, and editing can make or break a film. But Richard Francis Bruce, Mad Max and the Thunderdome, Shawshank Redemption, he did. He actually edited the first Harry Potter and the Italian Job. A few, just to name a few, of just to show you the vastness as far as difference in film. Man's a genius. And the score, because I think scores are important in films. And when I mean score, I mean the themes of the movie, not the music, the popular music that you hear with lyrics, but the actual score, the theme to the film. That's another make or break, depending. But Howard Shore did the music for Se7en. Howard Shore is the bomb. He's been around a long time. He's also another Oscar nominated, and I believe he won, but most notably for all the Lord of the Rings. He did Mrs. Doubtfire, The Cell. My personal favorite, Ed Wood, another Tim Burton film. Fantastic. So the movie, powerhouse. So the movie stars Morgan Freeman, which, by the way, today is Morgan Freeman's 85th birthday. It's June 1st, 2025. He's 85 years old today. Happy birthday, Morgan Freeman. 7 is definitely one of my favorite Morgan Freeman performances. It's just a great movie. It also stars Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was so fine in this movie. My God. Golly. Just fine. This was also at the height of him and Gwyneth Paltrow's romance. She's also in the movie, does a fantastic job. The supporting cast is great too because you have John C. McGinley, Richard Roundtree at one point is in the film. Arlie Army, he's great. Just a well-crafted, well-put-together movie. Of course, Kevin Spacey with his weird, creepy ass in real life. Kevin Spacey plays the killer in the film, and you don't actually see him towards the end. Great job. So, 7. 7 is a movie that takes place, we really don't know what year, we don't know what city, we just know it's a metropolis, and it's about these two detectives. It's really about this killer, but it's, we go through the journey of the killer through the detectives and obviously the killings. But the movie stars Morgan Freeman's character. He's a detective that's been working for years, and this is his last 7 days before he retires. Brad Pitt is new to the unit and starts working with Morgan Freeman, and the first death that they come on is an obese man who was basically tied up at his dinner table in his home, and he's found with his face. His face is face down into like a bowl of soup or SpaghettiOs or some shit like that. Long story short, they figure out that the guy was fed to death, and then there are clues that lead Morgan Freeman's character to go back to the apartment where the man was found dead, and they find a clue in the word gluttony written behind the refrigerator. Second killing, a lawyer found with his gut spilled, he was bled out, and the word greed written in his blood on the floor. So they discovered that they have a serial killer, and it looks like he's killing people based off the 7 deadly sins. Now remember, this movie starts, I believe, on a Sunday or a Monday, and each scene, like segment, is broken down by a day of the week. And you also have to remember that Morgan Freeman's character is retiring in 7 days. So when he first gets this case, he's like, I don't want this to be my last case. Him and Brad Pitt aren't exactly gelling at first. Two very opposite characters. Brad Pitt's younger, he's freshly married, a bit of a hothead, doesn't understand the depth of these murders. Morgan Freeman obviously is older, he's about to retire, he's seasoned, intellectual. He knows exactly where to research what's going on. The movie definitely, of course, deals in themes of sin, the Bible, human behavior, the way we approach things as far as judgment, because basically that's what the killer's doing, who Kevin Spacey plays. We get into the interpersonal relationships as far as Brad Pitt, his wife, because Gwyneth Paltrow's character confides in Morgan Freeman a lot. Morgan Freeman is also a bachelor. He has no kids. You briefly learn a little bit about his life. He's an introvert. So even him socializing outside of the police work is, it's a foreign world for him. This movie is great because it takes you on a weird journey, and it's a detective story. Who doesn't love a detective story where they got to figure out who the killer is? And the reality is, midway through the movie, you realize that the killer is watching them too. It's great. And for a movie to come out 30 years ago to still hold up today is a big thing. And it's wild that I was 13 going on 14 watching this movie. Crazy. It's amazing how times have changed as far as filmmaking. 7's a great film. I recommend you watch it. Definitely a little spooky, a little gory at times, but it's a thriller. It's definitely meant to make you a little bit uncomfortable. It deals with a lot of themes and a lot of different it deals with the themes of sin in such an interesting way, because everybody's sinning throughout the movie. It isn't just the serial killer, and it isn't the people that he's killing and who he's highlighting. You see it in all the characters. The movie's brilliant. So you can rent the movie. It is not free, unfortunately, to stream, but I rented it for $3.99 on Amazon Prime. I believe you can also rent it on Apple TV. It's $3.99. Come on. You spend more on a small coffee at Starbucks. I'm sorry, tall coffee. But anyway, 7, 10 out of 10. Great film, great acting. It's definitely suspenseful. It leaves you on the edge of your seat. A lot of memorable moments in that film. The movie to me all around is perfect, from the filmmaking on behind the camera and in front of the camera. It does a great job of getting its point across. And I feel that it's a movie that you could watch 100 years from now and still be totally entertained by it. So my classic movie pick and little review of the week is going to be 7 by David Fincher. Check it out.